Hey girls, welcome to week 3 of our course. I am so excited about today's topic just because I know that if there's anything you take away from this course, it's that this can be the single most transformational, life-changing thing you can ever implement. So yeah, we're talking about cool things like law of attraction and meditating and working out, intermittent fasting, meal prepping, all these great things. But if there's one thing you take away, I hope it is this. Gratitude and appreciation is the key to unlock all of the powers of the universe. And apparently my shirt. So, before we get started on gratitude and how you can start using that to change your life, we'll just recap on what we've talked about so far in this course. Now, don't worry if you're like, I don't remember all this. Learning is all about hearing it over and over again. That is the best teacher, is repetition. So whether this is the second time you've heard it or the 200th time, it doesn't matter. You're going to need to hear it again and again. And that's part of the joy of this journey, is having those aha moments of, hey, I've heard that before, now I get it. So here's some things that you might get again today. So we've talked about personal development is really about learning how to co-create and design your best life. Not live life by default and just settle for whatever comes, but really live on purpose and with a purpose. So we've talked about our number one amazing tool we have is our brain, and how neuroplasticity, the ability to mold our brain and change your brain at any age, is something that we can start doing now. So we talked about how we can create new experiences in our life, and we create new experiences, we create new synaptic connections, new neural pathways in our brain, and we can start to really transform ourselves into a different person. We can change our personality and really change our personal reality. So we can do this by visualization, seeing ourselves already having the transformation, and just by doing things differently so that we get our body, get our mind out of our habitual ruts and really used to doing different things. So that's all cool. But what we talked about last week was even cooler, and that's the fact that we don't have to do this alone. We have the leverage and power of the universe, God, source energy, the divine, whatever the hell you want to call it. We'll call it the universe for now. And really, guys, whatever name you attach to it, don't get too attached to it. If you're like, you know what, after a while, I don't like the universe, I like source energy, or I do like using the word God, even though I didn't grow up religious. It doesn't matter. Don't get tripped up on that. So what we talked about last week with the universe is that basically the law of attraction is always working. And with the law of attraction, you need to understand two things. Number one, everything is energy, and energy vibrates. So everything that is physical, this pencil, my tea, me, all energy, all frequency. Other thing, do you guys see that light just go off? Weird. Maybe it's just me. The other thing you need to know is that thoughts and emotions are also energy. Everything is energy. The universe is always responding to energy. Law of attraction. Like energy attracts like energy. So if that's the case, you have to be really careful about your thoughts and emotions because the universe is responding to them. Law of attraction. So if you recall in your personal development, shirt, I am so sorry. In your personal development book, I really wanted you to pay attention to where you are on the emotional scale and start being mindful of where you are and doing, feelings checks throughout the day and saying, okay, where am I on here? And the reason being is because this is your point of attraction. So that's what we're going to get into right now. Your point of attraction is a term that you really want to start to resonate and connect with, because from now on in all our courses we're going to talk about it, and in our next calls I'm going to say, okay, like, what is your point of attraction? And that's what you're going to have to start answering for yourself. So the reason your point of attraction is so important is because all these goals and dreams and transformations that you have for yourself, your fitness, your relationships, your finances, your personal development goals, those are all attached. So you put out a big dream out there. You have a dream of having a company one day, owning your own business or inventing something, or having a new house or career, whatever this big dream is, it's been created in the universe and it's up here, vibrating at a high frequency. You're down here. Your job is to raise yourself up to that high frequency so that you can match, so that it can manifest into your reality. So if you're stuck down in, anxiety, despair, kind of just feeling meh, feeling bleh, you're not very close to the higher frequency levels, which are going to allow you to manifest this into your life. So being cognizant of where you are on this emotional scale is how close you are to those manifestations coming into your reality. So how do we raise and improve and strengthen your point of attraction? Well, gratitude. Gratitude is the number one strongest, most powerful feeling in the world. And actually, I don't want to say gratitude as much as I want to say appreciation. Gratitude connotes a little bit of or denotes a little bit of like stress, like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful, thank you. But appreciation is like sitting back and saying, yeah, I love this, thank you, this is good. Okay, it's not so much desperate in that word, if you know what I mean, if that makes sense. So back to this, how do we get to that point of attraction, of raising our vibrational frequency so much higher that manifestations come from the universe faster? Well, we talked about, first of all, last week was breathing and meditation. Meditation is great because it stops the momentum of negative thoughts in their track. If you get on this whole wavelength of being anxious and nervous and doubtful, that just breeds law of attraction, more and more of those sorts of thoughts. So meditation just slows your mind, hopefully stops your mind, and allows you to regroup with some better thoughts. Breathing exercises are amazing because it does essentially the same thing, deep breathing exercises. It also kicks your brain, kicks your body out of the sympathetic nervous system, which is like fight or flight, and then kicks you into the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's where you're relaxed and you're more able to receive impulses and inspiration from the universe. So gratitude is what we're going to focus on now. So we're going to breathing, meditation, gratitude. So just to start off with kind of a spiritual side, Oprah has said, and she's, Super Soul Sunday, a lot of people look to her for spiritual guidance, including myself. She said the single most effective thing, most profound thing she's ever done in her life was start a gratitude journal. 5 things a day that she is grateful for. Now, this is not a new age thing. This has been done since we've been arrived on this planet Earth as human beings, from praying before your meals and giving Thanksgiving, but even the rain dances that, the ancient Pueblo Indians did, the Aztecs, the ancient Chinese, Africans, all corners of the earth and globe, people used to practice rain dances. And basically the cornerstone of a rain dance is giving gratitude for something. And we'll talk about it in later courses, but this is really something that has to do with physics as well, bringing these things to fruition. So this has been done for so many years because it works. On another level, if you want to think about going back to our brain and our neuroplasticity and how our mind is able to create things for us, gratitude, when you sit down and actually feel the feelings of gratitude, thankfulness, and appreciation, what it does is actually activates certain neurocircuits in your brain. And when you do this act, you're actually releasing dopamine and serotonin, those feel-good feelings throughout your body. And what actually happens is neural pathways are these hormones go through neural pathways straight to the bliss center of your brain, and you're overcome with just feelings of just pure love and elation. Now, once you get good at this, I promise you, do this by yourself, you will be able to bring yourself to tears of joy, and just this whole feeling washing over you. It is amazing. So neurons that fire together wire together. We want to make this a habit, gratitude a habit. The longer you practice gratitude and make it a habit, the stronger those neural pathways are going to be in your brain. So think about it like this. If you've ever seen like a little spider web, it's this like thin little piece. The first time you practice this, you're creating a very thin spider web-like neural pathway in your brain. The more you practice it, just like the first time you walk down a path and you're cutting trail, and then more people walk down it, and pretty soon it's like a big trail. That's what you're doing with your brain. So being mindful of not only just doing feelings checks, but adding some gratitude in with it. So how the heck do you do this? Here are some steps. So number one, you want to get into state first. And what I mean by that is slow the momentum down of your thoughts that you're currently having, your thoughts and emotions, and get yourself in an inspired state. If you are driving through traffic and you have just had an incident where you're swearing at someone and yelling, like, what the hell? And then a second later, like, okay, I should see what I'm grateful for. That's not going to happen. It's going to be just words you say. You're not actually going to feel it. It's going to be a waste of time. If you just come home from work and you're pissed off because the house is dirty and the kids are running around and your husband hasn't helped make dinner yet, that's not a time to maybe put yourself into the gratitude mode. Maybe make it, at first, to make it easier for yourself, something that is a bit of a habit and a ritual. So you can start off by doing some breathing exercises, as simple as just 3. Get yourself in that space. Or maybe just doing a 10-minute meditation, and it can be as simple as just following your breath in and out. Following your breath in and out. Then sitting down in your journal, just like Oprah does, and write down 5 things you are grateful for and why. I'm sorry, I'm going to put that pencil down because I'm pointing at you with it. So what you want to do is not just say, I am grateful for my parents. That's not enough. That's not going to evoke much of an emotion. You want to say, I'm grateful for my parents because over the last few years, I've come across hard times. I've been divorced. I'm single. And you know what? My parents have stepped up and I feel amazing. The second thing you want to do is, sorry, something was just banging at the door, a little bit distracted right there. Where was I? Yeah, you want to write it down and feel what it is that you're actually feeling. Now, sometimes visualizing what you've seen that person do for you in the past and relive it is also another way to strengthen that feeling of gratitude. So the second thing you want to do is have some accountability and share. So this is a great thing to do with kids. What you can do is, when you pick them up from school, instead of saying, what'd you do in school today? And they say, nothing. Why don't you say, hey, like, what are you really grateful for? Like, what was something awesome that happened? And model this for them. Say, you know what, today I had the best day in traffic. I had this clear intention of wanting to be positive, and I envisioned myself getting a parking spot, and I got it. It was so cool. I'm so grateful for that. Or just say something like, you know what, I'm so grateful for you kids. I'm grateful to be able to spend this time with you. I love you. And just showing them that this is a way that you perceive the world and way you act in the world is going to rub off on them. So share it with other people. Like I said, get into state by breathing or meditating. And lastly, I just want you to know that this whole habit of gratitude it's not going to be easy at the beginning. Creating mental habits, your mental gym in your head, is just like going to the gym. It's going to be hard at first. You're gonna strain, you're gonna balk at it, you're gonna say, I don't want to go, but eventually it's going to get easier. So here are some ways to ease yourself into it. Number 1, attach your gratitude with something else you're already doing. So for example, if you're working out every day, maybe do some gratitude and appreciation thinking after your workout. When you're stretching on the ground, you can just think to yourself, I'm so grateful for my body. I'm so grateful that I'm able to have the time to work out, but I also have the health to be able to do this. I remember a time, and this is for all of you, you've all remembered a time when you were sick or you were hurt and you couldn't work out. And how much did that make you appreciate when you did get your health back? So just maybe think of a time where you did feel sick or under the weather, broke a leg, strained something, and how cool it is and how amazing it is to not have that impediment anymore. Another thing you could do is every time you go to drink water. Lindsay and Christy have talked about hydration and how important that is. So every time you take a drink of your water, your tea, whatever, use that as a cue to say, okay, what am I grateful for right now? And that could be as simple as, I'm so grateful that this coffee tastes so amazing, and I'm grateful that the sun is shining on my face right now. I'm grateful that I have the money to be able to buy this. My life is amazing. Another thing you can do is before meals. And if you don't want to have the connotation that it's like religious and you're praying, it doesn't matter. Just silently, just be thankful for this food that is about to nourish your body, and that you live in a part of the world that this is available to you. So, after all of our personal development calls that I've done with you girls, there's a few areas that are really a theme across the board. Areas that are troublesome, areas that when you focus on them, put you lower on the emotional scale, that really kind of screw up your point of attraction. So here's another tip that you can do to help you out that includes gratitude. So number one is with people. People not behaving ruins things, right? How do we fix that? Well, you have to fix yourself first. So what you can do is change what you focus on with people, and law of attraction will help bring out those traits in people more and more. So for example, someone you're working with, and you're like, ugh, can't stand this person, they're so annoying. Instead of repeating those thoughts, law of attraction is going to give you more annoying behavior. What you want to do is maybe the day before or on your way to work or when you get to work is write their name down and do like a focus wheel or a mind map. Write their name down and write down aspects about them that you appreciate or that you maybe wish they had, and then elaborate on them. Like, okay, you know what, this person actually is pretty hardworking. They get a lot of work done, and here's some examples of when they were hardworking, and just write about how you appreciate that. Or maybe, you're thinking about your spouse and they have not been, behaving like they used to when you first got together. Think about the version of them when you first grew to love them. What did they do? He was funny, he was thoughtful, he took out the garbage, he always brought me home flowers, he said he loved me, he was very affectionate. And just write it all out and just go through it and be grateful for when that happened. And I promise you, people will start to shift. They will start to fulfill your expectation of them through this law of attraction. Another example is with money. This is a great one. I learned this from, where the heck did that go? Oh, this book, The Magic. Now, I've already given this idea to a few of you in your personal development calls, but I'll share them right now. 2 ideas when it comes to money. Usually when we think of money, we get anxious and we don't feel so good, right? It reminds us that we're in debt, we don't have as much money as we want. And that kicks us out of a good point of attraction into a lower frequency. Money's not going to manifest. So what you can do when you go to pay a bill, and a necessary evil in life, is instead of thinking, oh, this is so expensive, like this is ridiculous, I can't believe they charge this much for a cell phone bill. Instead think, I'm grateful for this bill. I'm grateful that this company trusted me to pay this service. They gave me a service and I'm going to pay it. I'm grateful for the fact that I can call anyone I want. I can use my phone. I have the access to the world's information at my fingertips. Remember the times when we had dial-up and we didn't have the ability to just text or call anyone when we wanted to? I'm so grateful for this, and say thank you. Maybe even have a ledger in your journal and write down all of your bills that you have to pay every month, and write a big thank you and mean it beside each of them, because each of those bills represents a service that has enhanced your life somehow. Just a small shift. And lastly, our bodies. We're so hard on ourselves when it comes to our bodies. I can put this pencil down again. So what we can do is really do a body scan and go through one by one, part by part, and just be grateful for what that part of our body does. Our eyes to see amazing things, our mouth to taste amazing things, to kiss, to talk, to laugh. So much to be grateful for just with our bodies. So to end off, I will share a meditation, how to do a body scan and really focus on gratitude with our body. And this is a great practice to do every day, not just to raise your point of attraction, but to also help your mind and your body connect and have your body actually conform and transform and basically manifest into the body of your dreams. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing all of you on our individual calls and seeing how you're doing with your gratitude. Bye.